What's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to a weekly tactics video for those looking to get rank 1. Well, I got rank 1 with these tactics, so I'm going to show you them all each individually. And of course, before I get on to that, I just want to announce some news that I've actually created my own coin called the NEAL coin on the Rally platform. I'm sure many of you guys have heard of it before. Rally is basically a platform where content creators can create their own coin. I'm sure you've seen, well, someone like Honda's got one. Other people have got one. I'm sure some people that you know have one as well. Basically, long term, I'm going to use the coin will be used to basically purchase FIFA courses and one-on-one coaching. And there'll be special roles for Discord with additional content. I just released it basically just now. So I just wanted to give you the heads up. So you want to purchase the coin, link is down below in the description. And you can be a part of this community early. But that is for the foreseeable future. So you'll see information on the Discord on that very soon. I've got an FAQ on my Discord right now if you're in my Discord in regards to that. But in terms of the tactics, so I got rank 1 with these tactics last week. I've fine-tuned some small things that I'll be using for this week. Same setup as it was always been every single year. You want one defensive tactic to kind of close the game out. That's my 4-2-3-1. I'm sure you guys seen that video. And I got one to press, and I got one to outsmart my opponent, turn them into banana split. That's a bit of a joke, but we'll get on to that in a second. And a very attacking formation. I have a video for each one of these formations on my channel, so go ahead and check them out. But we're going to first start off with the main one, the 4-2-3-1. These are the tactics. I've explained this in the video why this is the best formation in the game. It's always been the most meta formation. It's always the go-to. Every single pro will always go to this formation. Since FIFA 18, I think, they've always gone to this formation. And it's because it's so good. And as I said, this formation is being trialed and tested from players from silver all the way to elite. So it doesn't matter what skill gap you have. If you use these tactics, it will help you improve your play. I'm serious, because it's been tested, and that is the truth. And the reason why is because these tactics are created in mind for the average player. Because, for example, forward runs, people don't use L1 triggers. So the idea is that people make runs in behind the final third. Slow build-up play because people press you, and people always rush in the first 2/3 when you're building up play. So that's why these things are very carefully thought out. So it's not just I don't just pluck them out of thin air and be like, oh, you know what? Let me do slow build-up one day, because of course that's not how it works. Balance a defensive style, and these are the instructions. Of course, I'm gonna let you pause this so that way you don't have to let me go rambling on, and this video doesn't have to be too long. But the cam is on stay forward with the striker. So kind of, as I said, you defend in a 4-4-1-1, and you kind of play like a 4-4-2 because the cam always plays like a striker, essentially. So this is the formation I would use normally to start the game out, to suss my opponent out. If I'm going to try hard, this is the formation I'm using. If I'm winning, I go back to this formation as well. So this is my starting formation. If my opponent is parking a bus and I'm struggling to get past with a 4-2-3-1, then I use the 3-5-2. So 3-5-2 is an attacking formation. It's more attacking than a 4-2-3-1, obviously. And the reason why is because we've got 3 defenders. Now, this is why you need both of these formations. Because the 3-5-2, you got 3 defenders, right? You defend in the 5, but you can get counter-attacked. But when you're attacking, it's like playing a 4-4-2 with a cam. It's like playing a 4-1-2-1-2 in the middle. The Christmas tree, I like to call it. Or it's like playing a 4-2-3-1 with an extra cam. So, extra striker, should I say. It's like all the best attacking formations all in one. So if I can't break someone down, these are tactics I use. I have the one striker and come back in offense. Ideally, the person with the best stamina you'd put over here. If you want to, if you're comfortable with defending with just 3 players, or 2 players in fact, you can put all these guys on stay forward, stay central, and then both CDMs on cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, cover center. Left mid or right mid on comeback and offense, and get it behind. Get it behind is a new thing I added this week as opposed to balanced. And then the 3 centre backs and the right centre back, left centre back on overlap. So this is the formation I would use. Look, let's say I'm in a game, okay? And I'm 1-0 down. And I know with a 4-2-3-1, I'm not breaking through. This guy's defending like it's Stalingrad. Then I'm changing. I'm changing to 3-5-2. That's the formation I'll be using to break through my opponent. So remember that. If I can't get through the 4-2-3-1, and I've tried, then I go to the 3-5-2. Then the 4-3-2-1 is an attacking formation. Now, I'm sure you've seen the video on this. As I mentioned, the CDM drops in. You create a back 3, 2 centre mids, and these guys fly forward. And you create like the crown 5 going forward. So this is more of like, I want to win the ball back, counter-attack type formation. So you've got pressure on every touch. You want to win the ball up high up the pitch as possible. Width 55, depth on 45. I've already explained these in the videos. already, so there's no point going over this. Fast break play, forward runs, because you want to be as quick as you can. So as soon as we win the ball back with pressure on every touch, we want to be flying forward. We want the fullbacks going forward. We want players to be running in behind as soon as we can, as soon as they can, should I say. So forward runs in the final third as well. Width, just change it a little bit. And the players in the box are left on 2. Corners and free kicks, I would say 1. Just simply because it's a very counter-attack formation. People have been asking me about this. But simply for the fact that you're going forward as it is, and you don't want to get countered yourself. So if, let's say, for example, I'm going into a game, and I know my opponent is parking the bus, and let's say, for example, a 3-5-2 is good, but he's smart. He's actually thinking, okay, let me put 3 strikers on, stay forward. So let's say he's like, oh, you know what? The guy's playing 3 at the back, and he puts 3 strikers on, stay forward. Then I change to this formation. And this formation defends in the forward. When you go forward, it goes into a 3, and these guys go forward. So that way you have the defensive stability, you press on the ball, but then you blitz him on the counter attack. You see, so for all segments of play, you kind of see how all these formations come together. So that is the 4-2-3-1. If that doesn't work, then I go 3-5-2. If I'm winning, then I go back to the 4-2-3-1. If I'm still struggling, I stay on a 3-5-2. If I get the equalizing goal, I normally stay on a 4-2-3-1 or stay on a 3-5-2. Then if and only if I'm struggling at that point, then I go to the 4-3-2-1. So you see it's very situational. The last formation we have is the 4-4-2. Now, this is the best formation. I'll be honest, look, you know what? I've been using this a lot more recently. Just because every time I go 1-0 down, I've been using this formation now. I'd recommend for those that are watching my video, don't go to this formation when you're losing 1-0 down. This should be if it's like 60, 70 minutes and you can't get the ball back. Let's say the 4-3-2-1 is not working. You're pressing, you can't get the ball back. I'm going to show you, I forgot to show you the instructions for the 4-3-2-1. But let's say, for example, you're trying to get the ball back and you can't get the ball back. What you're going to do with this formation is you're basically going to have the similar system, but we want to be pressing for all areas of the pitch, okay? So this would be the formation if this like do or die. We haven't got constant pressure on, so you can always use a team press D-pad tactics inside the game if you want to apply team press. Press on possession loss. Press on possession loss is better than pressure on heavy touch. I always get tongue twisted with that. Simply because you're pressing all the time. So this is more like a conservative press. This is more like we need to press every single time now. Width 60, depth 70. You want to be as wide as possible and high up the pitch to win the ball back high as possible. Balanced build up play. Forward runs, width on 45. 2 strikers both on comeback and defense. Stay central, getting behind. I explained why you should have this on comeback and defense in a 4-4-2. Long story short, top tier players will just basically abuse the fact you've got 2 strikers on stay forward and they'll play in between the centre mids and the strikers. Left mid and right mid on comeback and defense, get in behind and get into the box for a cross. 1 centre mid on stay back while attacking, cover centre, and the other one on get forward, cover centre, and left back, right back, stay back, overlap, and step up. As I said in my other video, if you know you're not that good at defending, you can of course remove the step up feature, and then you can just play it as is. And that is basically the formation for chemistry purposes. People always ask me, this is for chemistry, then in game I go. So, like I said, I start with a 4-2-3-1. If I play that game, now it depends on your level. Now I'll be honest, I can play the 4-2-3-1 the entire game and win every single game. That's just my level. I'm just going to be honest, okay? But if I give it to someone who's maybe like a gold 2 player, they might have to play this and they might struggle against someone. They got to change to a 3-5-2. So you got to remember, so adjust it to your playstyle. Start with a 4-2-3-1. If you can't break through after, then go to 3-5-2. Once you're on this formation, if you go 1-0 ahead, you go back to the 4-2-3-1. That's it. If you're on this formation, you're losing 1 or 2-0 and you cannot get through with a 3-5-2 and you've tried to use team press, then you go to this formation. Or let's say your opponent is being smart and he's got 4 players on stay forward, then you can be smart and go to this formation. And that way, when you're defending, you pack out the 3 centre mids and you have 4 players at the back. These guys, they stay forward. So when you're getting counter-attacked, you're going to have a CDM drop in between the defenders. You're going to have one guy staying in that position. But you're also going to be a bigger threat going forward because you've got 3 guys on stay central. So your opponent's got 3 defenders, like he's playing a 3-5-2 as well. Any form of the 3 defender formation, your opponent's playing 5-3-2, 3-5-2, 3-4-1-2, 3-4-2-1, 5-2-1-2, any of those formations, this formation is what you want to use. And you basically want to bait him by letting him come to you and then countering him. I'm sure you've used that already. And the good thing is on pressure never touch, so you do press with the ball and you press with the 3 strikers. And let's say from there, it's 60 minutes. You're like, you know what? I am struggling right now and I can't get past. He's passing the ball around, parking the bus, going from left back to right back. Then you go with a 4-4-2. You press with press after possession loss, and then you go into the game, you press him, and if you can't, like if you still can't get the ball, then you go team press with a D-pad tactics. So the idea is it's a progressive system. You move along them depending on the situation in the game. And that's what everyone's getting confused. You know, when I make a 4-2-3-1 video, yes, I'll be honest, it's probably the only formation you can use for the entire game. But when I make a 4-4-2 video, don't just sit here and use that formation for the entire game. Because when you, let's say for example, if you go, let's say you start with a 4, let's say you want to have fun, okay? Fair enough, you want to have fun. Sometimes I do it as well, you start with a 4-4-2. If you go 2-0 ahead, you can't press for the entire game. You end up losing 3-2. So you have to have a defensive formation to close the game out. So that's why I say react to the game. And a little cheeky tip, if you have the balance formation, what I normally do is I just leave everything on 1. And this is not the tactic that I use, okay? But this is the anti-kickoff tactic. Because don't forget, it takes some time for you to change the tactic in the game when the game starts, right? So what I've been doing since FIFA 19 is I just put everyone on comeback and defense. And that way if your opponent kicks off first, remember you play on this formation for like 5 minutes or so until the ball goes out of play. So I leave everyone on stay back while attacking, and I put one of the centre mids on drop between defenders. So that way I got a back 5 when my opponent kicks off first. And that way it's like an anti-kickoff formation. It's pretty smart, isn't it? So that's the way that I do it. So I have my normal tactics. I don't use this in game. This is just purely, as I said, for chemistry. Then I change to one of these formations as soon as the game starts. That's if I'm losing, that's if I'm winning, that's if I'm struggling, and that's the counter-attack formation. That's basically it. Thanks for watching, boys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.